All right. I'm assuming that the stream this morning was seen by a couple more people. I realized I did it really early, and that's something I've tried to do since, committing myself to streaming 3 days out of the week as opposed to just whenever happenstance occurs. Um, God, this has been such a aggravating past week. Like, we started off with doing a stream on Monday and having this guy spurg out. Then I found out this email I have hasn't apparently let anyone send me an email in a month. Not Gmail, this other website. So I could have been sent God knows what. And to be fair, they do notify. So at least with Gmail, they notify you if the email is not being sent. But outside of that, it's kind of not as straightforward. So I have to assume that something important was sent over the course of the last 30 plus days, and I just wasn't able to receive it or retrieve it or whatever other term might be used. Um, God, I just people are so unnecessarily aggravating. Like I'm sitting here watching just this stream again without the comments. I said he really sat here and argued with himself for 15 minutes straight. Like at one point, I even wanted to take my glasses off because I can, when don't have them on, I can't read text that's that far away. So I can just basically make it to where it's an even further assessment of not wanting to participate with what is read. Because I also have mentioned that I've tried to be very consistent with reading comments and responding to what people have to say. Uh, God, it's so weird to be on a website where people are like, I come on here, I watch stuff I enjoy. I don't leave comments as much anymore because people like to start arguments and comment threads over literally everything. There was actually a guy who one time came on a video of mine, and he had said something very generic. It was like, good, nice vid or something, complimentary nonetheless. And a person responded and was like, but would you, uh, I don't remember what exact, it was some insulting phrase. And I thought to myself, only the kind of people who frequent these different channels and come to screw with someone could take something as harmless as what this person wrote and try to make it seem as if this was some egregious, horrible thing that happened to occur. Like that what he wrote was so bad that they had to write something back that was equally as awful. I I, I don't understand, man. Like I really can't wrap my head around a lot of the behavior that people engage in. But I did just realize I made a mistake. I was supposed to send this to somebody, so let me grab the link and we'll continue from there. Also, it's kind of funny on Monday I had mentioned how I don't like people who or I don't like this thing that people do where they take a like something that's fact based and then they try to pretend it doesn't exist to suit their own narrative. So I've given the example of how there are a lot of polls in the Democratic primary that I don't like, where you've got, one poll will have Tulsi up at like 3 points, the next one will have her at 1 point. Sanders will go up in Iowa, then they'll go right back down. But the thing is, I always acknowledge that those are results that, like, I've never contested any of those. I never say that's just one poll. Iowa's, or rather, let me say it in the way they would do it. They go, "Oh, that you don't know who they're sampling." I look at the results. I say, "All right, this makes sense because of X, Y, and Z," and proceed from there. It's like with this person. I tell them because I'm making the case of why the argument of, oh, welfare is the reason black kids don't have fathers. And I said, I would accept that if the numbers matched up more. We've been over the fact that there are more whites on welfare than any other ethnic group, and for some reason, as they're the largest group on this program, only a little bit over a quarter of the children that are part of that ethnic group are born out of wedlock, whereas blacks are going into the early 70s. So when you look at that and you say to yourself, okay, if this is true, that welfare automatically causes ethnic groups to have large swaths of their population being born out of wedlock because the woman picks the handout over the husband. How the hell do whites continue to stay together at such a large number? Like, we can barely get over a quarter of them, not even 30%, to have children out of wedlock, even though more of them are on that program. Now, if it were flipped and let's say, blacks were the majority on welfare, okay, well then I can concede their point because in this example, the largest ethnic group that's on the program would have very large numbers of children being born out of wedlock, but the largest ethnic group has the smallest numbers of any of it. So you have to look at other factors. You have to look at a criminal justice system that is garbage and disproportionately puts blacks in jail, a lot of times for crimes that are not actually, violent. So we have the three strikes rule. I think it was blacks are four times as likely to be incarcerated for drug violations than whites. There's a lot of stuff we can state that is statistical, and this gets ignored by a lot of conservatives and libertarians when they do their little, I hate welfare speech. Even though, like I said, this guy will be on Social Security, well, not Social Security. He'll be on Medicaid when he's 65 because it's a wonderful program that helps out people, and the government should help out people. That's the whole purpose we have any of these damn things. No, no, James, no one is contesting that there are individuals who take advantage of a program. I am simply saying that if the largest group, which are whites, that's on welfare happens to have the smallest number, barely over a quarter of their children being born out of wedlock, then that means there's other factors, or hell, even another factor is a bigger deal than welfare itself. Because these people, their thing is just get rid of this and everybody will go back to being with each other and blah 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 blah. Even though they like I God, people they have this like weird thing where they can never look at something with any historical context. Why did we create welfare? Because we had the Great Depression where people had no safe social safety net. I mean, like, these things were created for a reason, because when someone is working and they can't afford things, they get some federal assistance to help them with adjusting to how life is. We and it's not an uncommon thing, because one can make the argument that financial aid, which is the only federal assistance I've ever sought for school, is welfare as well. So like I don't understand what the hell is the government supposed to do if it doesn't assist its people. I really don't get why it's here if it's just this evil, horrible thing that should never be allowed to do anything of any assistance. Well, like, oh my God, I hate talking to people on this site. They say the stupidest things. VBS, did you see the video from this morning? Okay, I brought you up. I was like the only person that comments on any of this romance stuff that's had the balls to turn on the camera and film themselves talking about this is VBS, who still won't show his face. Not that I blame him, because he saw the disgusting stuff that was written to me about how I looked. I mean, these pricks on here try to make me sound like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Like, you can only throw so much garbage and verbal sewage online about someone's appearance, and then have them actually believe that they're just this grotesque looking human being who could never be loved for the way that they look and all that trash. Well, hopefully you see it. It's very wide ranging. I talked about the three people who have had the narcissism to announce that they were unsubbing, and I thought it was so weird, because when I've unsubbed from channels, I just unsub and leave, or in a lot of cases I'll still be subbed, but I won't watch their stuff. And I've really tried to not to clean up on that. So it's so weird when you sit here and you try to talk to these people and ask them, why do you feel the way that you do about this stuff, and their reasons are always so strange. Like, oh my God, for this one video you talked about shampoo. Okay, well, I don't understand why that would make you think I don't have that my critical thinking skills were somehow overestimated on your part. Now that's what that guy said, James, that I was such a great content creator. Now I talked about shampoo. I'm really not making. In fact, do I have let me see. I might actually have a screenshot of that. I don't know, because some stuff is so strange and backwards that I almost like can't fathom the fact that people actually write it. Let's see here. Um, I'm looking. There's some other stuff right here. No, I'll find it. And maybe I have it. I don't know. But that was his reason that I talked about some shampoos. So that caused him to lose his mind. Also, I'm going to be doing some. I'll try to see if I can do some cartoon stuff to make fun of these, because those comments on that last romance video I did were really ridiculous. Like the one guy who said, "What was it? Let me read it." um, let's see. You're Once you become an adult, talking about how many sexual partners you and your date have tends to be a conversation best avoided. There is a necessary risk you must take to get the rewards of dating. So I must risk screwing a broad who's had more, who's been ran through like a train tunnel. Um, because it would be so awful to ask her how many partners she has had. That will get made fun of, along with something this other person wrote. I told you I wouldn't be so annoyed by their objections if I like these people never comment on anything else. They always just come here to write stupid stuff for the romance things, and I really have no patience for them anymore because those have been since last year only a consistent thing that I try to pump out every week or every couple of weeks for people that enjoy this kind of stuff that say, hey, thank you for saying how I felt as well. Um, Thank you for acknowledging how I felt also. And when it becomes a thing of I put this up and then I've got some dude writing a big, huge paragraph about how I spoke of historical inaccuracies. I'm like, man, look, I just turned on the camera. I spoke for a few minutes, and you're trying to tell me I had some evil, sinister agenda to depict the people of the current era as whores and glorify those of the past as being so wondrous. Like, man, it's some stuff is just isn't that complicated. Like, I don't understand this stuff at all. Why do we need to sit here and debate on a comment section? I was making the argument earlier that a lot of it's a lot harder to accept the constant barrage of just people coming out of the woodworks and writing weird stuff. Because at this point, since I don't leave comments on anybody else's crap, it's literally me being in my own little dojo and having someone who I've never seen before type out whatever, and then me choosing to not respond by text anymore. Yeah, this person said it correctly. STD rates have gone up. People keep moving goalposts to where they're trying to get 15-year-old boys to stop being virgins. There's a lot of stuff that's different from how it used to be. But people like to pretend that I don't know what I'm talking about, so it's all good. Yeah, they're more than welcome to go away. I really don't care anymore. I'm going to be honest. I'm getting tired of this romance stuff. It's getting old. Well, it's getting old because, like, anytime. I mean, I said before, I haven't approached a chick since October of last year, so there's really nothing much more to discuss when it comes to it. When I did the lose your virginity to a prostitute one, I only said that because it was something I had never mentioned before. That was a new angle. Envoy, did you see the stream this morning as you arrived? James writes, I can only imagine you having to keep talk about it over and over again. If it's new, like the from that angle of paying for it to be lost, whatever. But when you sit here and people still year after year try to write you paragraphs and argue with you in comment threads, I'm like, man, just leave. If I got everything so damn wrong, why do you watch me? I mean, I don't understand it. I think VBS left. He went to go sign some autographs. No, but it's literally on my other tab. Been sleeping all day, man. What's happening? Well, a user decided to because I committed the unmitigated crime of admitting that I liked a former U.S. president. This person on Monday decided to write 14 different messages And like I told you before, I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. So I tell him I'm not going to argue with you. He writes all his stuff. But yeah, yeah, James, LBJ. And then proceeds to, like disappear after taking up like a fourth of my stream, just typing out all this crap. I mean, and like I said in the stream, he morphed into a troll in record time. That dude went from saying that my streams were great and that he loved being on here to then just having a verbal filibuster within the same half hour. But I decided to address a lot of the claims that he made in his Spurg out this morning. Well, he didn't do it this morning; it was on Monday, but I decided to address it in the. Yeah, Envoy. At one point, after he wrote out all of his stuff, he said, "How do you feel about your great LBJ now?" It's like, who the hell would say that to someone that they're trying to have a reasonable conversation with? Like, Envoy, remember you like Shapiro and I don't. And after that, I explained why I didn't. You explain why you liked him, and then we moved on. Nobody sat there, and I didn't go, well, Shapiro did this, he did that, he did this. How do you feel about your great Shapiro now? Like, that's weird. That's not. And this is a 30 plus 40-year-old man acting that way. I expect my little brother to behave in such a childish manner, and he's turning what nine next month. Like, that's strange. Yeah, but the point I'm making here, Envoy, is that if I had argued with him and I tried to defend Johnson against, let's see, is he content here? Is he a constant here, or was he someone new? No, he had been. I didn't show up earlier. What happened? Well, I'll explain, Ruben. But he had been someone who had been on there. I would say fairly new because he showed up early September. But he was on like 8 or 9 different streams, so he was a constant for a brief period, and then he found something to nitpick about and decided to flee. But not before having his writing all kind of stuff in paragraphs. And Envoy, I was trying to say that I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't, because if I had responded to what he said and tried to argue back and forth with him, first of all, I would have taken up my stream, which wasn't even about that topic. But he also would have said, "Oh, you're trying to accuse me of something," and then fled afterward. So in not arguing with him, he still flees. If you argue with him, he says, "You don't know what you're talking about," leaves. You argue with him, you know what you're talking about. No, there was no way to win that. The only way I could have won is if I said, okay, 1 sub out of 2,000. I will now agree with you on everything you say. I would never do anything to upset you. Rub a tub. We just want you to accept me for all of my opinions. I want an extra piece of chicken. Oh, Ruben, I wanted to ask you, do you have any positions that you disagree with me on? You can let me know. I'll change them accordingly, because I'm not allowed to think for myself or have any independent thoughts. And since you're sub to me, you own me. So just let me know, boss. Okay. Just please tell me what problems you have with any position I have on any particular issue, because I would never do anything to upset you, boss. Envoy says, issue is people just want to fight on social media nowadays, man. I don't know. It's weird. Like, you have different viewpoints and keep it moving as long as it's not super disrespectful. Again, we could have had it like this. He says why I thought it would be like this. I say why I like Johnson. He says why he doesn't like him. Continue with talking about the clown of the day. Instead, I say why I like him. He completely ignores my points and then just like, I mean, it was bad, man. I'm so glad that stuff isn't even on there anymore. I don't want that trash being displayed here. Always says, I've had people say racist stuff or stuff dissing my religion. I pay those fools no attention because they want to get a rise out of you. Yeah, he was mad I wouldn't respond back to him. I just sat there looking away from the camera and talking about the thing. Ruben, let me know if I have any position that you disagree with, so I can adjust it accordingly, because you own me. Every person who subs to me own me. I'm not a freedman anymore. I just want an extra piece of chicken as my hands are bound. You know, it'd be funny if I went out and bought some KFC and then, like, for the next live show, just have a big, huge bucket of it right in my lap. Was he the only one in the chat? No, Ruben was there. He saw the spurg out. Yes, master. Yes, a boss. We be good YouTuber boss. James, do you have any position you want me to change? Because, you know, I would never do anything to upset you. I just want you to, you know, like my stuff and maybe give me an extra piece of chicken and you know, some other meat as well. You know, and rub a tub. We would never bother you. We would never disagree intentionally. You know, I actually had pointed out that he like looks for stuff to nitpick about people because he was saying he didn't like Tulsi anymore, and his whole thing is being anti-war, and she's literally the most anti-war candidate of any of them, like currently running. So he found something to complain about with her, and then decided to diss her as well. So that's why I was of the belief that if it weren't me liking Johnson, it would have been me liking, I don't know, some other random person that he has a problem with. Because you can't win with online boys, man. They don't have a realistic view of the world. That's why I said, you know what? People are going to make all kind of videos supporting Trump and all kind of other politicians I don't like. What I'm going to do is not, unless it's like a major news story, not watch any of their stuff, not comment on it. Let them be in their circle, and I'll be mine. That was the central point of what I said in the stream. They keep telling me I'm part of the intolerant left that doesn't like when other people have different viewpoints, but you don't see me in the comments section of any of these people trying to change their mind. You don't see me on Mark Levin's on going on Fox and calling up the network to try to talk, because that's an over 60-year-old man. I'm not going to change his position. Ruben said, I disagree with you about many issues, but that's irrelevant at the moment. You're genuine, which is almost non-existent at this point. So that's why I still follow you. I'm so touched. I mean, again, if you want to air out your grievances, I don't have a problem with the stating of what specifically you have a problem with as far as my positions on issues. But I would prefer you say, I don't agree with this because blah blah blah, and then I say I agree with this, or I have the opposing view because of blah 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 blah. That's why I was making the comparison that when there was a guy last year who didn't like Nixon and knew that I did, I said, hey, you know, whatever. Proceeded to send me some old articles from, and they're not old in that they're 10 or 20 or 30 years old. They're old in the sense that when I first got into politics, these were some of the earliest material I'd read, and starts bombarding me with all this anti-Nixon stuff. And it's like, what are you attempting to do here? You're just going to annoy me. And I'm going to say, all right, well, screw you. And that's pretty much what I did at that point. But it's always a self-inflicted wound where the person tries to provoke you to, I don't know, change your mind or and atone for the sins of the man that they hate. That's why I said it really seemed like he was having a PTSD flashback. Like when he looked at me, he saw Johnson or something. It's like, what the hell is wrong with these people? Always says, do you think sometimes with the social media back and forth, it's the fact that some people don't leave the houses or don't have many friends? I don't know, because when I've sat at home and like called people and they didn't answer, I never thought, let me go online and try to find someone to argue with about like whatever. It never crossed my mind to do that. Okay, I worded it wrong. I actually do agree with you. I meant that the topics I follow are more things than most of these news outlets. Oh, I was trying to say, I think I might have lost my train of thought. I was saying that actually when you were stating that you agreed with him, it was the same thing. He agreed with what I was saying, but the knowledge of knowing that I liked this one politician was enough for my entire message to be completely undercut or to like matter more than what I was saying. Let's see. Oh, Sky and his the person who called me ghetto and said I couldn't form complete sentences is saying that he disagrees with most people's opinions on a lot of things, but I never call people names because of different viewpoints. That's just silly. He didn't actually call me a name. He had slick disses. He said, "How do you feel about your great LBJ now?" And then he said that the only people who like him are uninformed or are critically unthinking. And that's what I hate about a lot of this online stuff. People act like they have some secretive reservoir of information that only they can attest for. Oh my God, someone's calling me. Hello? Yeah, well, oh, that was I feel dumb. I didn't even send that person that link. I feel very ignorant for not sending them that. Is this the one? Let me see. I'm gonna double check. Yeah, no, they called me by accident. That was a mistake on their part. Now, if I was him, I would have said, "How could you call me by accident? I'm so important. You should always know when you're calling me. I'm the only person that you will always know if you're calling because I'm so important." Hey, B still, do you have anything that you disagree with me on? Because I'll change my position to suit your interest. I would never disagree with you on purpose, boss. I want your full support and rub a tub tub. Just throw an extra piece of chicken my way, and then I'll suddenly be in full support with whatever you have to say. I mean, like, these people really think I am their online slave. Like, when you get to a point where think of how crazy this is. You love all this person's content, but because they like a president that's been out of office for 50 years that they never talk about on their channel, has nothing to do with their content at all. You now abandon them and say, "You're cursed. You're on your own path." I want to do a stream where it's just me wearing shackles like this. Did you see the Facebook hearing from earlier this week? Now I'm definitely finished with her. I don't care if she loses her next election. Oh, you're talking about AOC. Ruben says, "Oh, Dirk gets a divorce." Hey, you haven't been seeing him recently, so maybe that's why he's not been showing up. He's been caught up in court. Dude, both AOC and Omar are gonna get divorces. Oh, be still. You saw when I said I thought she was hot. They were like, "I think she's average." Like, that's not the point. The issue here is that if I was him, I would say, "You don't think she's the most beautiful woman that ever lived? How dare you?" But I don't care. It's like beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Kevin just said, "I know nothing," just like that brat from New York. I agree. At least Kevin's honest. He'll troll you without any kind of attempt to pretend like he likes you. Kevin, if I have any position that you don't like, I'd like for you to list all of them in 15 separate messages so I can adapt accordingly. Because I could never disagree with any of my subs ever. I got to appeal to everybody and everything, and say whatever you want because I can only have one position. Rub a tub tub. B still is going to be her second husband. I don't even think. I just realized she's not married because they said the whatever his name is, the guy is her boyfriend, so she's not married. So Dirk is just her live-in dude. Mm. Hey Ruben, what did she say that pissed you off so much? I didn't. I think I saw a clip of it that was played on HLN, but they didn't. They are. They play a little small, brief excerpt, and then you got to look for the rest of it online for yourself. So I would love to see what it is. Yeah, be still. Let me know what positions I have that have pissed you off, so I can change accordingly. She made Zuckerberg look goofy. I was conservative for a while, but Trump is trying to deport my lovely grandma. Well, I hope that she doesn't get deported. I have no reason to support that position. That's why I've said that I think that illegal immigrants who don't commit any violent crimes, I have no problem with them staying here. It is not an issue to me. If you're going around robbing and stealing stuff, then that's a different story. Um, Trump is on a warpath. Well, Kevin, that's why I told you I don't bootleg for either party. I condemned Obama for deporting over 2 million illegal immigrants, and then trying to act like you guys love dreamers and oh yeah, we're down with DACA, man. We love them. It's like no, I saw you. I was there. So I'm not on any of these people's side. She is pushing for even more extreme censorship rules and laws. Meanwhile, resistance shills get to spam any insidious claims they feel like saying on social media. Wow, I'm gonna have to go watch this because I mean, I don't want to. You know how I feel where it's like Ilhan was doing it too. Oh no, say it ain't so, Ruben. Oh hell, this is awful. This is the sign of the progressive apocalypse. Where did James go? Did he disappear? Where did Envoy go? Did he disappear? I think they both just faded away into the background. Ruben took over the stream. Oh yeah, Ruben. For the next presidential documentary, I'm thinking like on my short list right now. It's like Taft, McKinley, and then who's the other one? I think Quincy Adams. It would be one of those three. What do you think? Because I wanted for the modern ones after FDR or after Hoover rather, I wanted to have actual clips of them. That's going to take more time than just I put some pictures up, I read some stuff, and you know, which do you like more? Um, Out of that group, I'd probably say Quincy Adams because he was an early advocate against slavery, and I keep having to explain to people you don't advocate against slavery 30 years before the Civil War and not be considered progressive. You know, so it might be him. I'm not sure. Uh, where the hell do these people keep going? They just disappear. Yeah, James, I was so worried that you had disappeared. I hadn't seen you in such a long time. I was waiting for you to turn into a troll and start flaming me in my comment section saying, you know what you're talking about. Modern women are just like the ones from 30 years ago. Oh, I'm surprised. Oh, no, it wasn't Sky that said she was, it was Splendora Gaming. Now I remember. See, I remember the different usernames and stuff that people have written. And I pay a lot of attention to various comments. You know, I've been insulted. I've been called dumb. I've been mocked in all kind of ways, but I pay attention to a lot of this stuff. Ultra troll instinct. Hey, um, that guy, he's gonna change his name a little to Jiren or something after when he comes back on here. I'm shocked, Sky. I can't believe it. I don't disagree with your belief on their attractiveness. It's just like all the people online make all these different chicks sound like they're the ugliest broads the world has ever. And I was like, damn. You had Splendora talking about buck teeth AOC. I was like, man, just relax. Even if you didn't think she was attractive, she's not hideous. So just calm down. Yeah, Jiren is I like the manga version, even though the manga version of Determine the Power is garbage. The manga version of him is a better character than the one in the show. Let's see. Now I think people hate them a lot to the point where they'll say they're unattractive. Oh, and then James says people have very high standards. I guess. I mean, we've been over this before, James. I'm a person who is not overweight and is 6'2", so above average height, and I'll still get told I need to wear this, act this. That's like, man, just go to hell. Like all those comments should just be put in the dead zone. Let's see, both AOC and Omar are on the same page as Pelosi and Kamala now. Yeah, they're doing a lot. I mean, I don't want to put Omar in there just because, again, the anti-war stuff. So can we agree that she's like halfway there? She got one. She's like a Warren, basically. She got 1 foot in the progressive camp, 1 foot in the establishment camp. And all these different, like it is. Oh man, the Justice Democrats are so embarrassing. And why the hell is Presley still not endorsed Bernie? I don't understand. You know, if Omar AOC gave these dudes a chance to sleep with them, they'll hop in bed real quick. Yeah. And you know the saddest part, it won't even, because people always say, oh, it's because this person is famous. They could just be random broads on the street. They go up to any of these guys on here and say, hey, you want to, they go, oh, yeah, man. Oh, boy. They might not act that way. And, they go, oh, I'd love to do that. But they would think that in their head. They'd be so happy. I never thought I'd see the day when a congresswoman would want to try to sleep with me. This is great. Dudes are easy. Dudes don't have standards. Well, that's what I said about the dude that impregnated the broad that put him in jail. Like, imagine if I put a broad in jail. If I called the cops on her, she went to prison, and a few months later where she's knocked up. I mean, you would think she was the dumbest person in the world. You don't imprison, especially if they're not threatening you, like physical harm. You don't put people you care about in prison. Yeah, well, that's why someone actually wrote he was the ultimate cuck in my comment section. James, we already know it's not all. I'm not like the people that write stuff to me. I don't try to make it seem like you said something you didn't say. I don't try to play the spin zone or have smoke and mirrors. Always says this week has been crazy with news, to be honest, with that whole trans kid. I think I know what you're talking about. The LGBT episode is crossing over to straight values. Oh, their agenda is crossing. I thought you were talking about like an episode of a show. I was like, what is? Watch it be illegal to be straight. I mean, you saw the person who came over and tried to get mad at me for, like not wanting to date a tranny or whatever. So I'm sure that's coming down the pipe. I mean, it's not going to matter because you can't force someone to date you or to date some group of people. So they can have fun attempting to impose it. It won't work. Did you catch the video of the trans woman stripping for kids at a library? No, I did not. I'm kind of disturbed. I hope that's like a joke you're playing on me. I'll laugh, but I'm really disturbed that's even a thing that actually occurred. Who haven't I asked? Envoy, would you like me to sit here and buck dance for you and ask if you have anything you'd like for me to change my position on because since you hit a red button on this website, I'm owned by you. Would you like me to do that, boss? Like I am really a slave for 2,000 people. Well, Envoy, I would never do anything to upset you. And I want to make sure you watch every video and you comment on everything. So, whatever you want me to say, I'll say it. Or whatever position you want me to change, I'll change it. Rubber tub. If I had a child and they were in their late teens and expressed being trans, I would love them. I wouldn't agree, but I wouldn't mind if they wanted to transit. Yeah, I don't have a problem with people's personal choices as long as they do not impact me. Literally, you could have 1 million broads in the U.S. insert bananas on themselves and call themselves dudes, and I would turn the other cheek. But you're not, when you say you must now try to date me or you must now want to date me. That's when it's no. So I said I leave people alone, man. Whenever they come and there's like a beef, it's always someone that comes over here and writes something stupid to me. I'm on nobody's channel unless I'm leaving a nice comment. Like it's on here, it's literally if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. As far as places that I leave comments on, it's been that policy for like the last 2 years or so. Let's see this goes beyond being understanding. They are trying to push this stuff on kids. Envoy says, "You know me now. I'm just chilling now." Oh, you know me, man. I'm just chilling now. I try and be unbothered about this stuff. Well, look, when you're in the North Pole, it's easy to not be bothered by this stuff, but you have a responsibility to be upset and pissed off. It's like they want a fresh generation of LGBTQ kids. I don't know who these people are, but whatever. Everybody's got an agenda. Sky says a lot of dumb parents. Yeah. I mean, hey, we know that a lack of intelligence is what is needed to attract the opposite sex now. So some of us who have been considered to be higher on the IQ echelon have been accused have had a lack of success with that same group for that very reason. So, are you really surprised, Sky? Does this shock you? Do you go, oh, wow? Let's see. Pageant moms and dads. Brian says no. Sky, rather. I'm sorry. We're gonna pretend that name doesn't exist. We're gonna erase that. Sky says, notice how no one blames the parents for virtually anything. School shooter happens. It's the video game's fault. Dude, the same conservatives who tell you to leave the guns alone because the guns don't kill people, people kill people, are the same ones who blame games instead of the crazy people that play them. Or welfare instead of the people that misuse it. They're all hypocrites, man. All this liberty and freedom and regulations are bad. It's all gibberish that they just rattle off. I don't typically mind LGBTQ. They have difficult lives, so I get it. But damn, both sides are bugging nowadays. They got weird agendas. And then Ruben says non-binary genders. James, I don't even know. I like, this wasn't even about them, and like they're all just writing about this stuff. That's what every live show is. I come on there with my own thing, and people take it. And again, I gotta oblige because I'm owned by everyone. I'm the slave, so I have to accept the whatever is written here. I can't put my foot down or actually run my own stuff. So they can have a hour-long text conversation about the LGBT agenda, and I'll just sit there and go, "Yep." Because we all saw on Monday when I tried to have my control my own stream, it backfired. Let's see. My pronouns are piss and crap. From now on, you'll address me this way. Yes, a boss, piss and crap. I gotta ask the chat's permission. Can I have some of this? Am I allowed to eat any of these? I used to just be able to put one in my mouth, chew it really quickly, but I'm owned by my subscribers, so I have to ask. Do I have permission to eat this? All right, thank you, Envoy. Well, I guess we'd have to take a vote because I can't just accept one person's opinion. I have to have like every single person that's there write something. I'm sure the friend who I'm sure the female who shut up YouTube was and the Yeah, everybody's part of that group. I told you, all they do is blame these men groups for like all the evil stuff that people do by themselves. And look, I could get saying that one of these groups was responsible if like, because these are all lone shooters, right? Let's say it's 5 people go and shoot up somewhere together, and they're all identified as part of this. Okay, whatever. But it's one guy posting some crazy stuff, then losing his mind, and then going around and doing this, and now everybody who has trouble with chicks is the problem. Like, I think about how crazy this is. I've never put my hands on any of these broads. I've never threatened to do that, and like I'm getting lumped into categories with people who have gone out and murdered a bunch of other individuals over not screwing or not being able to get screwed. Like, who died from me talking about how dumb chicks were on YouTube? Who passed away because of that? Nobody. But they get lumped in anyway. Let's see. B still says, check the life stories, mass shooters. Each one of the dudes has one of some sort of Naruto character. Sad story. Hey Sky, remember that one time I did a stream about a broad, and then some broad somewhere got cancer because of it? The stream bent the space time continuum to give her Ebola. Remember that time I uploaded that video about how broads are really loose, and then right after I put that up, somebody got AIDS, and they found out that the video actually slid this disease into them. Dude, all these people want to ban welfare, but they won't ban guns. Like, who died because of welfare? Does welfare kill thousands of Americans every year? Does welfare make us have a mass shoot? And again, I'm not even the person who wants to ban guns, but like I've seen so many conservatives make that seem like it's the worst thing in the world. I'm like, no. Your words bring more things into reality, apparently. Dude, I really I was so sick of like Ruben, you should have seen it after that stream on Monday. I was pissed. I was sitting here just in my chair thinking to myself, I only get a couple of people a stream, and one of the few ones that shows up decides to like type out 3 or 4 paragraphs of stuff and talk to himself. I mean, that was really insane. I kind of partially was hoping that Ruben would like delete his stuff or something, but you know, that's why I made Boel mod. So when your comments disappear, you'll know who was responsible. Dude, she really went over to his page and was like, "You say he was one of your backers for a month, but you know he only liked one of your videos like throughout the entire time that he commented and attended streams. Because hitting the like button is like, you know, it's harder than fighting breast cancer." There are tens of millions of guns in circulation. No law will collect or destroy all of them. Also, good luck taking guns from hangs. Oh, okay, from gangs like MS-13. Well, again, I didn't actually say I supported. Man, Scott, you heard what I said. I was making the point that these people make like their thing is the guns don't kill people, people kill people. So if it's the tool and not if it's the person and not the tool, wouldn't they make the same argument for welfare where it's the people who misuse it? The program itself isn't the problem. That was what I was saying. But I know you're gonna mishear me, and you know, then you're gonna write a comment saying I called for the confiscation of all weapons everywhere. So go ahead. I feel like they can take guns away, easily take guns away from gangs. Oh, they can, man. They raid people's houses all the time. Well, I told you we have, thanks to the Patriot Act, they can literally come to my house right now. No probable cause, no search and seizure. I mean, I have no Fourth Amendment protections anymore thanks to that. I haven't had Fourth Amendment protection since I was 3, thanks to these idiots, man. But do you really think they'll go after all the guns? Um, Man, I'm not even gonna bother with that. I'm not. I don't even care about this stuff anymore because all we do is have a shootings. The people who call for gun control call for gun control. The people that oppose it, and then it gets it. We pretend the shooting didn't happen after a couple of weeks. Then another one happens, and the whole thing starts back up. So it's whatever at this point. I let them write whatever. I let them argue back and forth all they want. Like I was gonna do a cartoon version of the that clip from TYT where Jenk is like, "We're a well-regulated militia." No, you're not. You're an idiot. It's right after. Like just how cool that voice. I could picture someone else speaking with that, and then he says that right after they make that comment. Let's see. What do you think about a growing narrative with both left-wing and right-wing people being more open to just outright getting rid of the Constitution? This sounds like something we should be worried about. I already told you they're trying to screw with things that, like I keep. This is why I don't support more term limits. This is why I don't back. Like the only type of change that should really occur on a election scale is ranked choice voting, and them screwing with the Constitution. They're going to do the same thing to the Constitution that's being done to Roe v. Wade. So they realize we can't technically get rid of this, but what we can do is have it on the books and then pass a bunch of different laws that basically erase it altogether. So, for example, oh yes, we can't repeal the First Amendment, freedom of speech, but what we can do is have public forums like Twitter and YouTube silence people for saying stuff that certain people don't like. B still says gangs are powerless. Gangs aren't some sort of Iraq insurgency, and they date back to one of these halfway. Oh man, come on, B still, don't argue with Envoy, because then I'm gonna self-destruct because I can't pick a subscriber to side with 100%. Since I'm not allowed to have my own positions, I have to back one of you to the brim. So please don't argue with them. Just make up and maybe invite them over for some barbecue. Sky says, exactly, but I know why politicians do what they do. They don't want to solve much of anything, both sides. Sky, that's not true. I've offered many solutions, and you accuse me of not wanting to solve anything? How dare you? He still says your opinion can go to the highest bidder, and people start spamming the donate button. Like, I'll give you $2. Well, I'll give you $2.01. I'll give you $2.02. Here, value my opinion more. I'm now bound by the $2. I gotta take his side, dude. Like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna screenshot every video I've done for the last month and count in a video how many of them have been demonetized. That stream I did this morning, demonetized. The prostitute video, the 11-minute one, demonetized. I think the loose video was also demonetized. Like everything I put up, always piss yellow sign. Every single. Oh, that's why I said I'm not doing this for money. Like I can get a video with 1,000 views and I can't even make anything off it because piss yellow sign. The Andrew Johnson documentary, demonetized. Can't win. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go through every single video and screenshot where it says I could make a video talking about flowers and rainbows and I would get demonetized. Ruben says, did you ever check about propaganda due the 70s gathering for right-wing politicians and businessmen in Italy? It sounds pretty familiar. I don't think I looked into it specifically, but I'll check. Thank you for reminding me. I'm also going to look into that center that you recommended a while ago. I still have it on file. Um, Again, I'm just trying to figure. I was trying to configure some stuff this week. It's been really aggravating, to say the least. Vulture says even your educational video gets demonetized. Sheesh. Well, you could argue that all the political stuff is educational because I give some example of a poll or whatever. So, there's really no way to win with this stuff because at every turn I'm just going to keep getting demonetized over and over and over and over. Like no matter what I talk about. I can do a video of me eating ice cream, demonetized. It could be called "Watch Me Enjoy a Cone." Like this is not suitable for all advertisers. That's why I said people who aren't content creators, they don't get what it's like to just like to put up with all the trash on here. Like when I go to my comment section, I'm not even excited because most of the people that I actually like on here don't even write comments most of the time. They're in the stream. Only person I've seen writing a bunch of comments is Boa. And sometimes she acts like a troll too. So I don't even, I'm not, all these people are all over the place. That makes it to where every comment you can expect it to be a troll one. Let's see. That's one of the reasons why the female shut up. Why that female shut up people in YouTube headquarters. She worked there and was pissed off at them. Yeah, she got pissed about being demonetized as well. I mean that's a correct position. She just did something violent that was unnecessary though. Envoy says YouTube is crazy with the demonetization nowadays. Yeah, I actually think I might have in the last 4 weeks, maybe 5 or 6 videos didn't get demonetized. Everything gets hit by the yellow piss sign. YouTube only likes resistant people. YouTube is hashtag with her. Yeah, well, it didn't do Hillary too much good. Let's see. Yep, and she was okay, well, I don't know about that. She was part of all those groups. She was its first female member. He still says YouTube is weird. I agree. James said he would give me a thumbs up. I'm so flattered I could almost blush. Doesn't PewDiePie get paid by YouTube? Yeah, he became a millionaire off of this goofy website. Hey, Envoy, did you see Boa's comment on the Johnson documentary? I'm gonna make sure I turn on ad blocker so you won't earn a nickel. And I was like, oh no, my eighth of a cent, my eighth of a penny, because that's because they actually have shown the calculations for for like how much they pay somebody, and it one time showed me that it was like less than an actual penny of how much I made off. I was like, who the hell cares? Because like a video with 40 views usually doesn't even get anything. So it's just that was the joke. It doesn't matter. YouTube uses super chat to offset paying people. Even if you do receive money from super chat, they take them out. Well, that's why I was trying to get a PayPal, but they like I said, they get their cut of the pie no matter what, unless you go on Patreon. But people don't want to, they're not too excited about going over there. Less than a penny is like paper. I'm surprised they haven't sent me a tree. Told me to go make your own dollar. Since you're so well informed on the wait, what did Envoy say? That was honestly a very good video. You can turn it into a series since you're so well informed on the presidents. Oh, I'm very thankful for that, Envoy. Well, I do intend to make another one, hopefully soon. I just have to make a decision and stick to it. The thing is, if it's one of the modern ones after Hoover, I want to actually have it be like this big, major, huge scale project thing where you get clips of them, you get different interviews they had, stuff that is congruent to the advancement of technology over the period the office has been around. I didn't get your opinion on the vid. Did you watch Johnson? Let's see which one do you know about more that will be easier for you. Again, I'll probably it's probably down to Quincy Adams or Taft, and then whatever one doesn't get picked this time, I could just pick the next time. I should just get like a little hat and write all the different names of them on there, and then put it in the little in there and just sprinkle around and grab somebody. That'll be a nice way to conduct this stuff. Imagine if I was like this guy and I was like, "You don't like LBJ? I'm gonna ban you," and then everyone's comments like disappearing. Like we got streams with 8 people watching, nobody commenting because everybody's blocked. Just like, you don't think AOC is beautiful? You might as well not even be here. I'm gonna be like Steve. Instead of get off my stage, I'm gonna say get off my channel. And then I throw my chair. I get out of it and throw it. God, there's something seriously wrong with people. And like, I mean, I gave the example that Sanders said he thought Obama was an A+ compared to Trump. I thought he was like a C- compared to him or a D. Like it was really crazy. Let's see. Ruben says Taft is from another political dynasty, powerful political dynasty, but they phased out of public life for some reason. Well, I mean, that's kind of true with all the dynasties when you really think about it. Like, Adams are gone. The Kennedys are barely hanging on by a thread with Joe, whatever his name is from Massachusetts, the one that's challenging Markey for no reason. So they're all like fading out of relevance and actually being important, or like going and scaling up and whatnot. The only one that seems to be going strong is the two Cheneys. We got the evil vice president and his goofy daughter, and she's already reproduced like 4 times or 5 times so we can have some future warmongers too. Let's see. James said, "Oh, did hear about someone sold a penny for 1-2 million. It was a rare penny made in 1943, I think." Well, I had the story about the guy that stole the gold toilet. So people are they're buying and they're doing all kind of weird things. Okay. Actually 1.7 million and a golden. Oh yeah. Matter of fact. Okay, DuPoints and Vanderbilts are still around. Wilkes people are still around. Bush family is definitely still around. Rockefellers are only one now dropped out since David's death. Kochs are still around. I told you about when Koch died it was like a month ago. There was some idiot that left a comment celebrating his death on the video of a guy with the same name, but a different person nonetheless. And it was so funny because it's like, well, the one guy's from the U.S., the other one's British, and you insult him just because because you think it's the same person, even though the only thing they have in common is their name. They look nothing alike. It was so funny. It just shows how little research, like people are so lazy. You can't even look to see what the guy sounded like, what he looked like. You see a person with the same, whatever, man. I'm beating the dead horse. I think I made my point. Let me grab this golden toilet thing for James, so he can know that I'm not making this up. I think that was in the UK where that happened. Open link in new tab, copy. Okay, this is CNN. This isn't the source I wanted. There you go. Wait, is that even the? Oh man, I think they screwed it up. Let me see. Open link in new tab. Damn it. Okay, I got the. I hate Google sometimes. No, it's cool. I'll try to post it again. I didn't want to open it because sometimes on those pages they have these ads start playing and whatnot. They're really really loud. There you go. Do a video on America after World War One during the Great Depression. For some reason, well, maybe if you could articulate the reason, I'd look into doing it. I mean, like I said, I'm more interested in doing some presidents and then like some documentaries on some different members of Congress. Because there are a lot of different members that have very little stuff made about them at all, like despite actually doing things of some impact, which is very disturbing. Because that's why I said we have this thing about when you're president, you get all this attention and praise and remembrance, but if you're in any other office, you get completely ignored. With a couple of rare exceptions, like Hamilton or RFK or someone like that, but for the most part, they don't pay attention to you. Again, that would have to come after the one on another. Let me do another president first, Ruben. I can't produce all this stuff at once. I'm only one person. I mean, this is so incredulous. But I will say, Ruben, that if I do one on Gravel, it would probably be more entertaining than the Johnson one because you can actually see clips of him like throughout his career. We always hear about Tubman, MLK, Malcolm X. Envoy says that's so true. Some politicians, presidents are barely covered at all. So many people who have been vital in shaping America aren't talked about. Well, look, Envoy, they never talk about, if you want to go to civil rights people, you never hear about A. Philip Randolph or Ralph Abernathy or Stokely Carmichael, none of those people who all had different impacts in their own ways, and they ignore them pretty much. Oh, that's someone I haven't seen in a long time that just showed up right there. That's crazy. He just disappeared, and now he's reappeared. They said real life. That's why real life feels like One Piece. People just disappear and they show up later on, unexpected out of nowhere. Bob Vulture saying hey to me as if he hasn't been here earlier. Hey, Bob Vulture, do I have any positions that you don't agree with? Let me know what they are so I can change it because I would never upset you. Boss, I just want an extra piece of chicken and rub a tub. You got to go out of your way to inform yourself about them, but I guess that makes it fun. No, not really. I mean, a lot of times they'll have a book written about them or some other material. It's not that much stuff because there's no public push to have that person, really be talked about as often. Like they've had more books about Lincoln than any other American from what I've heard. But, there's nothing stopping someone from writing a bunch of books about any other person. Like right now, I and 8 other people can say we're all going to write books about Envoy and do interviews with him and gather his papers and all that. And the only reason we wouldn't do that is because we wouldn't consider you stuff like some high consequence where we all have to go out and do our own, biography of you. It's a lot of that stuff is determined by if people feel like it. Some guy came in there and wanted to fight because of opposing opinions. He didn't want to fight me. He wanted to argue with me, and I wouldn't do it. Let's see. Even though it wasn't that serious. I mean, I don't understand how you like someone's content and then you find out they like a president, and then that causes you to say, screw everything you've said that I agree with. I will no longer, I can't take you seriously, even though you still support the positions that you did when I first started checking your stuff out. Because you like this person I don't like, you are now discredited. But like I said, if it wasn't that, it would have been something else because people are nitpicky and they look for stuff to get pissed off over. Look up George Washington, someone you never hear about. I'll make sure to do that. James says the gold toilet theft is an interesting case. I thought it was funny. Have written some books, right? There is still a way to buy them. And you can see yourself writing some material for eventually becomes a book. I haven't done one in a few years. I'm kind of burnt out with them because what would happen is someone would say, "Oh yes, write this," and then when you write it, they don't buy it, or if they do, they don't like try to share it among other people. So it felt like a exercise in futility because, like I said before, anytime you put something out in the public, you want as many people as possible to engage with it and listen to what you have to say if you're speaking or read what you've written if you write something. So I just got tired of it, man. I haven't been on anywhere near those in a long time because I was so past the point of writing stuff. So I said I don't even write anything in my comment section anymore because it's pointless. So if you want to argue, talk to yourself, which is probably something you already do. Let me see, is there anything else here? I was actually going to do a romance video on the last chick I approached and why I decided that she would be the final nail in the coffin for me, going out and seeking it. But I decided I'm probably not going to do that, at least not this week, because I don't deserve to be antagonized on those particular videos every single week. So I'll probably hold it off for a while. People they don't know how to appreciate things. They don't know how to disagree with something and actually have points that make sense. When is that last time you've been in an argument? Oh, when is the last time you've been in an argument? It was in February. There was a guy who came over here. What happened to civil disagreements? Yeah, that's over. There was a guy that came here in February when I made the video about the orange clown lies when Trump announced he was going to keep troops in Syria after announcing that he would leave, which apparently he's doing again. As I've read one article, well, I can talk about that later in a upload. And I said, he lied. Like this is something he said that he would do, and he reneged on it. I had his supporter come there, whine about the title for a paragraph, ask me, what do you think about blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, well, maybe they're civilized. So I respond to them. They insult me. They get yanked. I make a video about how stupid their comments are. And I say this, no more after this. No, I don't care what people write on this channel anymore. If they write something dumb, I will never take the time to write something to them anymore, ever again. No more typing. No more this. That's over. Whenever I type, it's going to be for things that actually matter. Like when I did the Johnson documentary, I wrote out, I don't even know how many paragraphs there was. But I did that because it was something that mattered to me. It was me. And I guess with him, it's a lot easier to do that and feel like it matters because that's a president that doesn't really get that much material made about him. Yeah, keyboard warrior. Well, James, you're the same way because you disappear and then you come back and you write mean stuff. Someone just sent me a screenshot of where you said that you hope my show gets canceled and that I never get 3,000 subs, which I won't. So you'll get your wish. But I was so devastated. Mm. I remember I said I could post on here every day for 30 more years and I would still have like less than like 5,000. And this guy was like, you're so cynical. I was like, yeah, because the way this works is that the people who have a couple 100,000 get bigger and bigger, and then those with a few get a couple, but they always like stay at the bottom, while the ones who are already more well known just keep going up there, all on your head. Oh, about well, I got the screenshot, so it's best to come clean to concede my point. Let's see, FBI just released more files about Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, you mean that person that we pretend doesn't exist, never existed anymore? This Epstein debacle is super weird. Yeah, Envoy, I agree. I fully consent to that. Let's see. Vulture says civil. Oh, okay. He disappeared. He wrote a couple of comments and then he ran away. He realized I wasn't going to be his slave for the night, so he said, "I'll have my Sally Hemings, Thomas Jefferson moment with you later, with more groups and target on some audience. You can reach the 3K. Make a rant of romance every day and claim that you are." Oh, I know. That's why they've been coming to VVS's stuff, but I'm not part of these groups. Like I said, here's the thing about the danger of those groups, right? If you have any disagreement with the majority of their members about anything, there is a segment of them who will say, "Screw you, I'm never going to check your stuff out again," and then your whole attempt to affiliate with them goes completely out of the water. That's why when I cover Yang, I never claim to be part of the Yang gang or to be some top supporter of his. I've spoken favorably and respectfully about his candidacy because it's got some good points to it. Uh, but it's all just me trying to be myself. Well, I see it. I kind of have a mixed feelings about it. On the one hand, you would think the more subs you get, the more people watch your stuff. On the other hand, we know that isn't always the case. So it's kind of just a thing of I like the novelty of having more, but if they're gonna just click a button and disappear, uh, you know, you can just disappear and not click the button. People thought you People thought you owned a "Make America Great Again" hat. Wait, what? Let's see. You can cover Yang, and people think you're a bootlicker. It goes back to what you said about Twitter when you talked positively about Trump. Oh yeah, because I had complimented him on pulling out of Syria when he announced it back in December. I said this is a great thing. We don't need to be there anymore. We've been there for years. The Kurd thing is never going to be over because you people are going to keep trying to accuse the U.S. of needing to stay over there and be the one defender of this group. And like literally, all these different Trump hating people that were following me started calling me a traitor and saying I was secretly on his side the entire time. And it was just, man. That's why I said I don't need these websites. Like, I'm sure if I didn't get suspended on Twitter, I probably would have just left there eventually because it was the only reason I was on it was to promote my own stuff. A lot of people don't understand complex issues nor understand nuances. Oh, people don't. Yeah, they don't care. There is no intention to comprehend. It's all about getting that little clip of someone saying something you don't like and then exploiting it. Let's see. People thought Justin owned a "Make America Great Again" hat. Uh, I don't wear any political candidates memorabilia at all. Sometimes I've had some as my like my wallpaper or background because I respect certain people, but other than that, no. I leave them alone. See what else is here. Did I miss anything that anybody wrote? I don't think I did. Yeah, I don't get affiliated in that way. Oh yeah, by the way, that same person tried to get me to join their Discord server, and I told them I had bad experiences with being in people's servers where, like I told you the one story of how someone got rid of me out of their thing because I wouldn't be friends with the person who ran it. So I like that was just a thing I said because it's true. I've had those in the past, and it was like I God, it was excellent foresight because the second he saw something he didn't like, he took this extreme spurred reaction that corroborates that behavior. Do you know about Robert Mercer funding bot accounts throughout the internet to push his agenda? Cambridge Analytical scandal was connected to this. Yeah, I heard about that. They have the different accounts that go and write a bunch of stupid stuff about people on purpose to sow discord and public opinion. Uh, Bale, I don't even know how to pronounce your name. Balesin says he had discussions of serious issues nowadays. Receives on revolves on the magnificent and belligerent thing called ego, which is sad. I think. Let's see. It's like you can't speak objectively. No, we're not allowed. You have to talk the way they like. That's why I. Oh, Biosin, would you like me to change my opinion on something because I will acquiesce to whatever you said because when you hit the red button, you now own me. So just let me know whatever I can do to not offend you. And rub a tub tub. So let me know what you would like to see change, and I will adapt accordingly. Super controversial dude, but damn, if he saved a baby, he saved a baby. You can't deny it. I mean, it's the same thing with when he went to Vietnam for the second U.S. North Korea summit, and people going that draft dodger's finally going to Vietnam. Like, especially if you have a vagina, I don't want to hear you talk about the draft because you never had to deal with it or worry about it or at any point be subject to it. So let's not try to pretend like that was some great wonderful thing that people wanted to go to because the fact of the matter is if I was Trump's dad, I would have done the exact same thing he did where he got a guy to fake an illness for his son so he wouldn't have to go overseas. Plus, there have been political figures who have been worse. Well, Envoy, that's why I said I don't get why people try to pretend Obama was such a great, terrific character or that Bush is redeemed now. I mean, what the hell? Like, I was there. I saw you know what? I'm not even going to say it anymore. Told y'all these last, how long has it been since 76? 43 years. In these last 43 years of presidential politics, I'll take Carter and the older Bush, and you can throw all the other ones in the trash, and I wouldn't even bat an eye. You know why the media won't speak badly about Obama? He talked. He was this. He ticked so many quotas. Oh, he was on the left, black, charismatic, decent looking. Helped with the. Oh, he was only decent looking. I knew some chicks that wanted to have orgasms from hearing his voice. The reason I bring up these world leaders being drafted is because of the pro record. Oh no, I don't listen. With both Trump and Bolton, I said before that the only reason I bring up them being draft dodgers is you can't dodge war for yourself and then want to send somebody else overseas to participate in this. Yeah, Envoy. We all, the whole world thought he was so beautiful. This man was like some reincarnation of Christ in that election cycle. It was really crazy. All right, anything left to express or state? Uh, whew, man, I'm glad I recorded most of the stuff for this week, the uploads early this morning. After that, I crashed and went to sleep. Might end up doing that again tonight. I don't know. Let's see, Ruben says Biden was a draft dodger, yeah, too, and he still supported the Vietnam War. He said so himself. Um, yeah, that's kind of the thing they do. They all support these conflicts, but never are called to do anything overseas. And so that's why I said I don't like. I would never serve willfully or even by force for the U.S. military because like this country is not doing anything for its people. You've got a bunch of homeless individuals. You have conservatives who mock them for not being successful while saying that they want to kick out illegal immigrants to protect their fellow natural born citizens. I mean, I like it's just a bunch of hypocrisy, and these aren't people I would want to sacrifice myself for. Yeah, Ruben. Over 20, what is it? 27% of all homeless people are veterans, and you want to tell me about how people who don't have houses are lazy? Go to hell, man. The government loves war. Yeah, we've. I told you, Obama became the first president ever to have his entire tenure in war. But like it, I'm so embarrassed. Also, Envoy, if I find out that you like any commentator that I don't, I know that's very vague and generic. I'm going to delete your comments because I can't take you seriously anymore. You know, when he wrote that, I thought of that scene from Revenge of the Sith with Padme and Anakin, where she's like, "You're going down a path I can't follow." Like that's literally what I could just picture. Like I could see him reacting that way on the end of his screen. We're on Mustafar. No, Envoy. I thought that he was going to behave like because before that he acted like a regular person, and then it was so weird. That's why. But this is why I don't care about making friends. This is why I don't talk to any of these people outside of being on here because people who will sit there and type all this stuff how much they love your things, um, will just like they'll turn on you so quickly. I mean, how am I supposed to fight the US war machine when I got a dude that's supposed to be on my side stabbing me in the back because he found out I like a president? It's like, oh my God, an American likes an American president. What a sick thing. No, you can't win because you're fighting this bigger system while you've got people who are supposedly, of the same belief system nitpicking the hell out of you to just also have a conflict as well concurrently. So it's all bad. A lot of people banned straight away. I didn't do that for the entire time that he was writing. I said, come on, I really don't want to lose this person. I don't, surely they're gonna just get over it and keep it moving. Nope. So that he got his I did it with reluctance after the fact because I said that like that really pissed me off. That was people, they just take advantage of whatever leeway you give them. You know what annoys me the most with regards to the foreign policy and wars? Tell us, Envoy, write it right now. The veterans get treated like gum underneath people's shoes and when they come back. Well, that's why I said the US is a place of hypocrites. Yes, serving overseas is supposed to be so honorable. What's that veteran you want us to give you a job so you can work like any regular person? Oh no, sorry, man. We're not taking your kind here. Kick rocks. So again, if it were me, I would not go willfully. They'd have to put the draft back for me to serve, and even then, I'll probably just disappear. I would do the same thing that that guy did when he collected the 18 million on GoFundMe for the border wall, and then was like, "Yeah, thanks, but no, thanks, but there's a bit of a snag." That's literally they're literally left down streets to homeless veterans. Numbers are staggering. Oh, James, just leave. Like, you don't have to be here for when they come to pick you up. You can disappear. You can go to somewhere else. That's what I would do. Jesus Christ. I can't believe nobody saw that stream. It was a like I thought about what I was gonna say in that for about 2 or 3 different days. I was just sitting here plotting out my I gathered the different articles. It was I was really sick of this stuff because I'm just I don't see the point in being on here if all we do is piss each other off and argue back and forth. And like I put up a video, it doesn't even get 30 views. It's got like one or two troll comments. I don't care enough to argue with these people. And somebody will say, when you go online, this is what is to be expected. But my point is, if a person literally sits in their own little dojo and they're constantly having someone try to talk to and argue with them on here, you really don't get where the person says, yeah, this is not really necessary. Well, I'm not describing you, Raw Vulture. It's simply like a run. I told you, if it's a regular person that I've seen before, I'm a lot more lenient. When it's some random Joe Smoke, like literally every single person that commented on the last romance video except one, I had like never seen before, and it's like, why are you here to antagonize me? Just go away. Let's see, especially America. uh, Arguably the most powerful country in the world. They can take care of their veterans. It is the most powerful country in the world. Well, China will take it up in like 20 years, according to Bell, but currently it is. We got hundreds of billions of dollars to bomb countries overseas, but not to take care of our veterans, the people that we claim to care so damn much about. Just start responding to Dr. Phil episodes and help boost the next Cash Me Outside brat while pretending to condemn her. Yeah, be like, oh, I hate this person so much. That's why I'm gonna do a video on her every day. People come to your videos when you least expect it. I never see any regular subs comment. That's the crazy part. It's always some random dude that just appears out of the woodwork that wants to start a back and forth. I just think that's so weird. Now look at the comment section just like this. The funny thing is, I've been for a while and I've seen quite a lot of trolls and weirdos saying some weird stuff. And Envoy, it doesn't matter what the topic is. The romance stuff, they come over there, they accuse me of, you know, peddling whatever narrative. The political stuff, I get accused of misstating what someone said or whatever. The I did the philosophy. I did the stream on the like the nothing matters person. Like, where did they come from? Now, Sexual Tomcat actually stuck around for a while, James, on like 2 or 3 different streams. I'm actually trying to get my friend to come back on here, but we've had like schedule issues and whatnot. Might be able to do it in December when he comes back to California. We can do a sequel to that. I don't plan on seeing it in theaters, Ruben. So I'll probably I don't know, just wait till the DVD comes out. You can always replay that stream if you want to see me interact with someone I know. Yeah, it's funny how so many people have different experiences. They get the same result no matter what. Like he's had you would see if we get end up doing a sequel to that. It's been really funny to watch some of his stories because they're so similar to mine, and the fact that it's happening in an entirely different state, it really shows you how people have these. This is an issue that's just everywhere. Have you ever thought of making a podcast? I feel it is very amusing to listen to you. Well, if that's true, Bios, you would comment and actually show up for more streams. Just saying. I guess, but my point is, like, I never see people comment that I actually have seen on streams over and over. It's always just some random goof. But hey, now Boa's a mod, so she can turn into Thanos and get rid of them, and I don't have to look at their trash anymore. It's all good. Mm. All right, any final things? I'm kind of getting a little worn out here. Comments, concerns, theories, thoughts, speculation, positions. Like I said, I've tried to be very flexible with a lot of the alternate views that people have, and it just seems that in response, there's this weird desire for like a communism on here or something. So, any further comments? Always says nice stream. I enjoyed it. Gotta try and watch this morning stream. Yeah, it pretty much is the you know I articulated what the problem was with this person. Like, I just don't understand this website, man. The people on here are weird. So thank you for those that actually participate. I'd like for people to leave more comments if you can. Again, you can easily wait a week, then binge some stuff, write some comments after that. Uh, but yeah, that's how people are. You do what you want to do. So uh, thanks, and see you later. Let's see. I will definitely put more effort in the comments. I appreciate it, Envoy. Thanks.